Welcome back everyone. Saturday again here at Steve's place. I've been filming another episode today. You would have seen it with the, well, it depends on how I put them out, but cleaning out the shed and everything for the Bucks party. But on that same day we're also going to burn some piles, if any of you remember that or haven't seen that episode yet, but that's what's happening. So this is a Leyland Terrier. I'm not sure of the year. She's a TR51D, if that means anything to anyone. Obviously diesel, 6-cylinder. I got this, the company we contract to this brickyard and for the company I work for, and they were cleaning up to do whatever they're doing there at the brickworks, but they said, do you want to get, the one that wants this, and a few blokes said my name, so I took the old bogey float we got here and the uncle's float and the grey Kenworth down, and another mate of mine put it on with an excavator. Hadn't been going for, well, I've been there 23 years, I'd never seen it go, and I've had it a few years now myself, but it would have sat there for 18 or 19 years, and we brought it home on the, I don't know, lunchtime Saturday or something. It took 20 minutes later we had it going and drove it off, so really good little motor in it. Terribly underpowered thing. It's full of water, I think, unless it's leaked out. That was a while ago. It's been parked there for probably 2 years, not long. It will start, I nearly guarantee it. I'd hate to have a fire anywhere up any hills, because you'd be back to low gear and it'd be gone and through by the time you attacked it. But it was water in the roads around the brickworks for the loaders and everything that stirred up dust, so that's all it used to do. I'm just going to start it up and run it up to the fire heap, because if the fire brigade turn up, at least I've got more water than them, and it sort of looks good, plus peace of mind if anything does happen. So we'll see if she goes again. We'll see if the truck and the Honda, it's got a GX160 Honda firefighter pump on the back. Well, it's a replica if it's not. I think the good one was on the Louisville truck, but I used to use it when we burnt fires, but that body was on the white 4000. And when I started going to shows again with the white after COVID and bushfire season and all that sort of thing, I took it back off and put it back on the Louisville, but it's only chained on, so I need to fabricate some brackets to hold it on properly, and especially coming into fire season again. So today we'll be using this one, but I've only got to drive it up to that pile or the one down behind us here. So I'm just going to have a quick stress reliever. When you wake up something epic, massive like this, you've really got to settle your nerves beforehand. You're like a nervous one, So I think I'll have a couple of sips of this, and we'll put a battery into her. Got one of them big cat batteries there. Sort of a big fuel tank on it. I'd say it'd hold about 8 litres. Hope there's some still in it. Fire brigade are probably going to be impressed with this thing. I'm certainly going to be on call when there's a problem and something like this. So throw this strap around it. It has got a spot for a battery here, but these ones are sort of give you good cranking amps for something that's sat around like this, especially if there is a problem. It's good to got to be able to get it going and really attack. That's my dad over there cutting that. Told you we're going to fall a tree in the last episode, but he'd done it on the Sunday when we were down in the city, so he's trying to cut the stump out now. That's up where the fire is, so, or will be. I got the battery in her. Get a lot of fuel gauges growing around this place. Make sure there's a heap of dirt on the end of it. Yeah, got 5 litres in it. It should last 20 days. certainly full. Okay, so we're just going to see if she goes. I'm going to check her over. I don't even remember how to. Problem worries me about these little trucks and cars, or for anything for that matter, with hydraulic clutches and brakes. It just worries you that things are seized up. We've had a lot of rain since I've had this, and you've seen them, those of you who saw the Blue Acco episode, clutch master on her was seized, but it's not great. There's some in there. That's the, looks like it come from Bunnings, that. It's the clutch master, the brake master, sorry. Clutch is in the cab. I don't know where to check the oil on this mighty machine. I don't ever remember. Excuse my back, oh, there she is over there. Well, she's over minimum anyway. I think between minimum and maximum, it's in the range. She is facing downhill, and the sump dips the back of the sump, so there'll be a bit more in the front of her. Yeah, well, she's enough. I have got some up the shed which I can put into it. Certainly enough to do the job. If I was going to work it all day, I'd probably want to add a bit when she was splashing around. But plenty of water in it. Got the header tank here. I forget all the controls. You've got to get in this side and sneak across through the... I know you just can't see in here, but the rats love it. The rats just love machines like this. And where else would you want to live? Before I started YouTube, when I got this, Dad and I actually pulled the transmission out of it and freed the clutch up because it was stuck. Just rusted to the flywheel. Which wasn't a big problem, it was just theirs. So, I forget the controls, whether we cross the starter or we sure work from in here. So the gear sticks behind you, it's like you got to sort of sit in it backwards to be able to reach it. I can't for the life of me remember. I think I might have even hung a button out the side of it there. Everything's stiff on it, Jesus. Problem having no shed. Oh, I've got sheds, but all the good stuff's in those, and need to build one down here for stuff like this. You want to protect still. Okay, we'll see how she goes before we bleed anything. The oil's right, the coolant's right. Sure, I had a starter button outside of it here somewhere. There, look at that. That's if you can't hold your horses and wait to get into it, you can start it on your way through. She's lucky nothing is on fire at the moment. These rusty old clamps here, again, sitting out in the weather, nothing likes it. She's trying to She was trying to off then, she's excited. Show that mighty stack there so you can see a waft come out of her. They didn't go me beer. Listen to that. And that's how it started after sitting at the brickworks for the 19 years I know of. It could have been longer, that's just what I remember seeing it. Got some arsehole smashed the front windscreen in it, but apart from that, she's not in bad order for a little truck. Sure it's 82 or something, correct me if I'm wrong, I could probably look it up. I think that mate of mine, Mick, looked up the number plate before. It might have been 82, 84, something like that. Quite a big thing at its time, I'd imagine. It runs like the day it was built, it really does, it's just unbelievable. All we can hope for now is the clutch and everything works. So we'll go back here and have a look at the Honda. So you can see why I didn't do a will it start on this, because that's just far too easy. People watch those, you want to hear the thing winding and spluttering and doing a bit to them. That was, I think the bloody family car's harder to start than that. But this is how I cover up. We've got wood splitters and stuff around this place here. This is how I cover them up with old truck mud guards like this. They're just a great idea. Got this mate of mine, Bill. You've seen him. I've used his trucks a few times. He's a good bloke. He had this in his garbage bin up there from his business, off one of his trucks he replaced. So I brought it home, and good way to cover up a chonda. But that pipe has been exposed, and she's pretty rusty in there, but not a lot stops these. So we'll just, actually last time, I think may have been a problem with this hose valve here. I've got one of those in the Triton. Because these generally really work well, these pumps, but this one was restricted somehow. Whether it's in the tank, you can't get in there, you can't even see, or you probably see through that big spout up there, but some sort of restriction. I do run inline filters. That doesn't, before I did that, I used to replace, I don't know, I'd have the impeller out of it every 10 minutes with that Louisville. But this is gonna look good for the fire brigade, and it does work enough to put a fire out. It's just not performing how I think it should with a pretty good pumps, even though they're Chinese. They work really well. So I'll sit you down here on the back of this Inter. She's making all the big truck noises, so it's something's happening. Still got petrol in it. That's been a few years. She could probably do with a bit of slippery in the sump. She hasn't got much of that there. She's laying forward a bit, but not that much. Probably is. It's running out that side. It's probably heaps. It's sort of on the stick this side, but not what I hope it'd be. Just charge that pump so the seal's wet. See if she goes. So it's been just as long for this thing. I should come down and start these more often, but I don't. 10 or a 12 mil would tell us what we need to do here anyway, apart from that plug, which is 13/16 in these, I think. 21 will work. too. They won't. All they do is short the coil out, and everything goes rusty, and they don't do that. But you see, Chinese pump. So the whole unit's fairly reliable. All we've got to wait for now is the brakes to work. So I'll put that guard back on there. We'll take her up there and we'll give her the pump a go with the water and the hose. And fire reel I got from work there, they go through and decommission them every so many years. It was going in the bin, so I thought what a great spot for it. And now I've got 1.5 inch, 2 inch, 1.5 inch, something like that, lay flat on the other side with a good nozzle on it. So that's the story behind that. Now we'll see if the brakes release. Sounds like she's still charging, that big compressor. These are really good truck in their time, I believe. I know a few blokes that had these, built a lot bigger ones. Bloke I was close with, he actually passed before he was an older bloke, had one. He had two actually. A bit bigger than these. One was bogey drive, we call 6-wheeler over here. And one was a single axle tipper, like a 4-wheeler we call them. So we count, over here in Australia, we count joules as a single. So that there's a 6-wheeler. And that there's a 4-wheeler. So 6-wheeler Mack, 6-wheeler Volvo, 4-wheeler Volvo. And when you get twin steer bogey over here, they're 8-wheelers. And then 10-wheelers if you've got a pusher and all that sort of thing. So. And another mate of mine, Nick, you've heard me talk about him before. He ran them too, him and his mate. They were great machines. They're fairly underpowered, but like the Japanese stuff, it's underpowered, but it just goes and goes and goes. It's just so reliable. So what we'll do now, the compressor's cut out, and we'll see if she moves. Show you all how I can drive her. So we'll see if she moves, and then we'll do this view here of me bringing her out. And then if you're all lucky enough, you might get a ride in there. I think a brake's stuck on her. Oh, she's rocking like she's stuck in a hole here. She's sunk. Oh, she's off now. Not sure the power steering's working, but everything else is. I'm not. Oh, I can close this door, I suppose, because. Okay, now you're all in her. Well, this 80 stuff is, a lot of you know, went from steel and stuff in the 70s to this hard plastic in the 80s. Well, all the vehicles I've seen anyway, they got plastic in the 70s obviously. But a lot of these 80s vehicles had all this brown plastic dashes in them, and quite in good order. This again, they're all smashed and cracked, but overall she's not too bad, apart from some clowns throwing something at the windscreen. And regardless of the vehicle, whether it's wrecked or it's not, I just can't stand that sort of thing. I can't handle dickheads, basically. So I'm not going to do any double shuffling or anything fancy with her, because one, I'm holding the stubby, the camera, and trying to handle it. And two, I don't think she's got the power to. I'm sure there's a. I'm going to say there's a brake dragon, but she's rolling on her own there. Okay. Bus. bear with me, she's got no power steering. I'm trying to do it all one-handed here. Oh no, I can't see. Not a bad old rig really, I didn't pay a cent for it. There's the old float there, beyond the blitz. I don't know, 25, 30 Ks each way. It's only a bit of diesel it cost me on a Saturday morning, and brought it home and had a great time getting it going. I get really excited over that stuff, so. She's in good order, it really is. A lot of rust, but the chassis, it's all straight, cab's all straight, just the rust and the broken glass there, but I feel a lot safer having it than not. Something's burning. There's my dad there. That's the Daewoo excavator. They call it the Daewoo Dick because he's never off her. On the weekends anyhow. He's looking at her. It's a really good old truck. More than welcome to be here at my place. So here's the pile we're going to burn. I'm just going to have her on standby here. Fire brigade, they reckon, will turn up, so that'll make some interesting video, and if they do, I'm not doing anything wrong. There we go. Not too close. Hose will reach. Apply this big park brake here. So she's even got a PBR vacuum handpiece on her, if you want to tow a trailer with it. The old trucks had them, a couple of old engines down the back. I got them, the old Austin, I think's got one. And there you go, so I'll do a video of the, well, we'll start the fire first, get that going, and then might do a video of the pump running, but just have a listen to that. I haven't done my research to tell you what sort of size this motor is. I'm thinking, I don't know, 5 litre, something like that, 5.2. I may be wrong, but around that size. Sounds like a 6-cylinder Land Cruiser, Toyota. It's not, but it sounds like it. I don't know if she used to cart bricks or they just bought it as a cab chassis and put a tank on it, but she could have been an old brick truck, even though that's where it came from. But I don't know if she's ever used to cart bricks into subdivisions or just purpose-built just to run a bit of water about since they've had it. I'm not sure, but there you go. Leyland Terrier. You get boxes, you get all sorts of, a lot of animal names, Leylands. Terrier means, obviously, I take it as a little dog because he's only a small one with the little wheels and that on it. I think the boxer, a mate of mine had the 6-wheeler, she was fairly big. Then you get the Crusaders, they were an 871 in those. I would love one. And I think they were Road Ranger. Most 871s are, whether they're Allison or Road Ranger. Okay, we'll get the fire going, and here's my daughter here. She can run me back down to the Triton. Okay, I'm going to try this pump again with some water in it, see if it'll run a bit longer. I actually turned that off myself last time, so. Look at this helpful here. What'd you get? Very good. Good helping. And bring it down, mate. Alright. I might just try the little fire hose and unroll that one if shit gets out of control. Okay. The tap there's on. Turn the main tap on. I'll have to fix that switch, but that's good. It's fine, that's fine. Just try to let my neighbour know she didn't ring back yet because she's got animals close here. I like to let people know so we're not causing any problems. I don't know, don't panic, there's a fire. She must be on the lawnmower. Didn't ring back yet. Just while I've got you, I know those blokes that follow me are fairly loyal to the channel. That you probably heard me mention that in the Zeta video, I think I was telling you about an Oliver and an Inter, oh, she's a 5'6" or something. I'll just show you those through the fence here. That's going to be a big episode. That's going to be a big weekend. I'm going to wait till some good people are around, and there she is there. So that's an 1800 Oliver. The Inter behind it, the one facing the Oliver, I got that one as well. I'm just trying to save some pocket money up to go through the fence here and get them. That Oliver there's, as I said, 1800, but they come out with a Waukesha in them. That one's 1850 spec, so I've been told, because it's got a 6354 Perkins in it. 354 cubic inch, 6-cylinder Perkins. And the problem with the clutch on the Inter, so we're going to get the Oliver going when we can, and we're going to tow the Inter with her. Inter's got a blade on it, we'll have to tie that up, but that's why she's in the naughty corner, the bloke reckons, the Inter. Good bloke. And then he mentioned those two trucks. I'm not a real Pommy truck fan. I appreciate them, but I'm more American than Australian. But he said, do you want those two? Looks like a J model Bedford, and I think it's an Austin, the other one. The Austin's got a tipper on it. But, you know, there's certainly a spot here for them. I appreciate all old stuff, whether I'm interested or not. But I'll sling them a few bucks for them, and all goes to a good cause. He rebuilds a lot of beautiful old stuff himself. Which he needs pocket money for. So that'll be a great episode. He watches the channel too, so hi mate. But can't wait. I've been sneaking $20 out of Mrs. purse here and there. I'm getting close. I think I've got $80 now. So it might be a while yet. I'll involve a few mates of mine that are interested in that particular machine, and we'll take the little Triton through and all the tools and batteries through the gate there, and we'll get her going. So here's Chloe, she's still dragging stuff over. So there's the Leyland. I don't know what else to tell you about it. If you do want to know any more about it or see any more on it, let me know. Don't really know what else I can tell you, apart from how good it runs, how good it all works. And I could spend more time on it, get the doors working, but I'll never something I'll have on the road unless there's an emergency. I'll I'll never put any effort into it to get it registered or anything like that. But great little unit to have, especially for the price. So if you did enjoy that episode, please give me a thumbs up. I'm getting a lot more views, a lot more subscribers than I got views. So if you could please give it a thumbs up so people recognise the channel. And I'm trying to grow it to a stage where I can hopefully slow down and work a little bit. My dad's going to retire soon, and I'd like to spend some time at home with him and do some of these bigger jobs like the prime movers we got here and some of the tractor restorations and that, but which I can't do just on a Saturday. Sort of just giving you smaller episodes to what we're really capable of here, but I still appreciate what everyone's doing and saying, and all their comments are just great, and some silly ones, but they don't bother me. If you're all still watching, give a shout out to a bloke, Adrian. He sent me, I don't know if you got a channel, mate, I don't think so, but he sent me a manual for a HD7 Alice Chalmers, just like the one I've got, and it's just a brilliant book. It's original, it's just really thoughtful. It's just some people go out of their way and don't ask for money, they don't ask for any input at all. They just, what's your address? Next minute something just magnificent like that turns up. It's happening more and more that people appreciate it, and I appreciate what they're doing, because it shows they acknowledge the effort we're putting in here to give you this content. A lot of you love it, and that's why I keep doing it. I'm not getting any, well, very little money out of it, but I just like providing and getting those wonderful comments off you all. Okay, go and light her up. I've got a bit of old diesel there out of that Zeta. All that watery stuff that I drained out of it. I don't like using petrol, it's far too dangerous. Plus diesel burns for longer, so just hope there was no petrol in this drum beforehand. I don't think there was. I'm very careful with what I do with that. I'm just very scared of it. Burns way too quick, petrol. Oh, bastard. Might do the same the other side. They're bound to turn up, so get it really raw and try and get a bit of it out of the way before they do. They usually turn up, so you got more water than us and everything's right, you know. Just rang a mate of mine that's in it, and he said things have changed to what it used to be, but I've got a permit, everything's right. long to burn down. A couple of other ones to light up too, let this one die down, we might do them. Not sure, I'll video them. There's 2 more to do. Not much bigger than this, probably the same. He's pushing together now, I think that's what he's doing. Stand back, pretty hot. Using these plastic machines to push up fires, plastic bonnets and bloody rubber tyres. Fire like this is okay, it's not out of control, but some of them bigger, heavier ones, you're going to get the old Clark going. Even though it's got rubber tyres, she's fairly fireproof, I'd imagine. This one here I've stacked around this tree here burned out in the fires in 2001 and we still can't push the stump out. We haven't yet tried the 20-ton Komatsu, but I'm just going to try and burn it out and probably cut her off or something, I don't know, but we don't use up here. Just wanted to get rid of it. Okay everyone, I'm going to change this tap because it's leaking here. I think it's pulling in air when it's going through that. Plus it's going to empty the tank, so I've got another tap here for it. We'll finish using it now, the fires are all burnt out. Cockies.
Is that a coffee?
So, just wait for my partner to hold the camera here. Water, so.
Oh, on me?
Yep. Let's get it close. Some thread sealant for this one. thread's a bit stripped out.
The water stinks.
Oh, rust. That's fucked. Okay everyone, the thread was stripped on this plastic filter here. So I got a deeper socket so it grabs the thread further up where it's being tapered. It's going to lock in, and 1.5 BSP male here. Going to make it a bit longer, but until I get one it's going to do. If there's any fires you want it to work. Just to make sure I order one. Just maybe shorten that because it's going to be stressed now. So that is axle in that car. Have a look. Got one. Doesn't matter. Okay, back in business here. We might run it up to the house, see how much water we used, and put the hose in it for an hour. Probably not even worth it. Didn't use much, did we? Okay, so next day, see how she starts this morning, this afternoon.
Maybe she does.
Huh?
Maybe she does.
Brakes work. That's it for this episode, everyone. I checked the ID of this one. It's a 1980 Leyland Terrier. GVM's 8.4 tonne, so I think you can probably get 3 tonne or something on it. Not a big truck, but certainly looks it. So please like, share, subscribe. Want to grow this channel as much as we can for no real reason. I just enjoy doing it. I'm getting a lot of wonderful comments off people, and it's amazing how many people are enjoying it. So I'd like to continue that on, and I've met some of you people now, and it's been great. So private message on Facebook, a lot of you do that too. People have been sending me stuff, which is, I'll give those blokes a shout out, so that's very thankful for that. And still a few shirts available. We've got to get rid of them all before we get more. So thanks everyone for watching.